Facebook. Make sure we are all golden over there and that it's like doing its thing. Yes, show up, Facebook Live. Ah, yeah, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna open it up on my phone so I can see the gorgeous comments. Okay, perfect. So, hey, hey, what's up? As you are hopping on live, comment live. As you are watching the replay, comment replay so I can shout you out. My name is Amanda Renouf, and I am a business operations mentor and Fractal COO. And I'm all about helping you create a business, a profitable business that is simple to run. So you can get the freedom you set out to get when you started your business. So today I'm going to be talking about a question that's super popular in my micromind that's happening right now. So I'm hosting a free 7-figure capacity micromind for 4 days. So tomorrow is the last day. And this question like blew up in the chat. It was like people were just like freaking out saying this is so good. Oh my gosh, like this is game changer, all this different stuff. And I want to kind of bring this from the chat to a Facebook Live so it can be a game changer for you as well. So drop a heart. And if you don't want to out yourself, you could drop an internal heart. If you have ever gotten frustrated with running your social media or email marketing initiatives in your business with team, you've ever gotten frustrated with trying to figure out how to finagle creating content on Instagram, creating content on Facebook, creating content for your email list, creating content for TikTok, creating content for YouTube Shorts, and get it all to seamlessly work together, right? Drop a heart because I know that was something that I stressed out with in the beginning before creating the microphone method. And so I'm gonna walk you through the microphone method, and I'm gonna also kind of give some tips on how to not do the microphone method if that's something that doesn't align with you. So I'll give you kind of like different ways you can approach it and different ways I set up social media and content marketing departments for my clients so that you have like some flexibility in terms of like how you want to run your socials or how you want to run like your email list. So first things first is if you are running your socials with team, you can either do it a couple of ways. So, what's kind of known in the industry is like batching. So, you will have one of your team members like create a month's worth of content or create a week's worth of content. And then it has to go through an approval process, right? So then they say, hey, ready for you to review. And then it goes through an editing process. And then you're kind of in this back and forth around approval, edit, kind of like ping ponging between the two. And then you have your content pre scheduled out for the week or for the month. And then you rinse and repeat that flow. And that is fine, right? Like if that's your jam, that's fine. For most bro marketers, that's their vibe, right? But for most spiritual coaches and entrepreneurs who divine channel their content or who have like aha breakthroughs in the middle of their launch or who, their message like doesn't always resonate like a week later or doesn't always resonate like a month later and they're looking at content that they approved like a month ago, but they're like, I do not want this on my social channels or my email list now, right? If that's you, then the current like system for scheduling social media posts or batching social media posts with the team doesn't work for you, right? And so I kind of want to share a different approach to social media management with team that doesn't involve one doing it all yourself and just trying to be on every single platform and trying to like make all your posts perfect and trying to like beating yourself up if you're tired and you can't keep up that pace. So then you go on a 2 week social media detox because social media is exhausting for you. Doesn't involve that. And it doesn't involve the other option, the other extreme where you are batching out content a month, 90 days, a year in advance, and you don't resonate with that content. It feels very dry and it's just not your vibe. And it's causing this whole like approvals edits process that is just like burning you out and is so like, ugh, to you. I'm going to share with you a third way to approach it. And that third way is called the microphone method. So, how the microphone method works, and this is what I do in my own business because I change my mind on my content a lot too, and I want to have more flexibility. Is essentially what you want to do is pick one platform that you create original content on. For me, I use Facebook. So, I use this Facebook profile, this Facebook professional profile as like my main platform. So this is the platform I create content for. I love doing these lives. I love doing like writing posts. Like I love doing those types of things. So Facebook it is, right? And so this is the platform I create original content on. And then I store that content in an Airtable content bank. So I had like multiple content banks along the journey. I use like Evernote as a content bank. I use Google Docs as a content bank. I used the Notes app as a content bank. And at the end of the day, you could use like whatever as a content bank. It's just the whole purpose of a content bank is just to store the content you're creating so that you can rinse, reuse, repost later. So you're not always having to create fresh content like off the spot. Like, and a lot of times, like your previously created content, you repost it and it does even better because not everybody's seeing your content anyways. So yeah. So the rule of thumb with a content bank is it has to be something you would actually use and is easy for you to use, and something that your team or a future team or a future VA can easily access. That's the only rule with a content bank. And you could use whatever software you decide to use out there, Airtable, ClickUp, you could use like Notion, you could use like Google Docs, you could use like Notes app. You could use like Evernote, whatever. You could use whichever. I decided to move it to Airtable because like I just like the setup and it's actually much easier for my team to access. So while I'm creating fresh content, I load it up into Airtable to store for later. I have a tagging system. So I have like it tagged by offer so that I just click a button and all my posts that promote capacity show up, or all my posts that promote my one-on-one show up, or all my posts that promote like any of my digital products show up. Like it's just organized. And then I'll have additional tags like around like content types. So I have the 10x your launches content types that like I learned from running a done for you launch agency. These were, I believe it's like the 5 content types that like were the most popular across multiple niches and across multiple clients. So I had clients that were mindset coaches, relationship coaches, you name it. And these were just the content types that like performed the best across multiple launch types. I have like a freebie on that. So I'm gonna drop the freebie on that. Right after this Facebook Live to drop the freebie on that. But essentially it's like shockwave, testimonial, personal story, celebration, and offer post. So you want to like kind of flow those in during your launches. So then I have it organized by those types, and then I have it organized by content type. So like I do long posts, tile posts, carousel posts, reels, like you name it. So just like content types. And so we have this content bank to like make the pillar platform really easy to always have content for. So what I do is my Facebook profile is a professional profile. So it allows me the feature of scheduling on the platform. So once a week, sometimes twice a week, I will like schedule out content for the week. So if you look at my Facebook profile at this time, because we're in the middle of the launch, we're enrolling for Capacity Mastermind, which is my powerful evergreen business mastermind, which is designed to help you increase your capacity to receive more clients, sales, and time freedom, and create a profitable business that is super flexible and easy to run. So you can have a life and you get to do what you love and not burn out. So, so yay. And what I do is I'll post like 2 to 3 times like a day. I typically will do like a long post in the morning, a quick tile post in the afternoon, and maybe a short or a tile post in the evening. And because I have a content bank, it's super easy to just like grab content and just pre-schedule it out. And as I divine download new content, like I just pre-schedule it out. Boom, boom, boom for the week. If you didn't want to pre-schedule it out, then you just manually post for that day. That's your vibe. So that's your platform you choose, right, to create content for. I will schedule it out, I'll divine download it, and just let it be. What we do next is where the microphone method like fully comes into play. So what we do next is we decide what platforms we're microphoning to. So in my business, we microphone to Instagram, we microphone to TikTok, we microphone to YouTube Shorts, we microphone to IG Reels, we microphone to Facebook Reels, like we microphone to my email list. So those are like the platforms that my Facebook profile influences, right? So we are grabbing content from my Facebook profile and we are microphoning it out across all those channels. And you can decide like what channels you show up on. Maybe you want to show up on Threads, or maybe you want to show up on Snapchat or whatever, like the platforms you want to show up on. And this is kind of like the key piece that allows you to have so much more flexibility and so much more freedom and so much more expression while running your social media channels with team. So what we do is in my ClickUp account daily, Monday through Friday, because those are when I'm microphoning to the other channels. I don't microphone to the other channels on weekends. I could if I wanted to, probably could pre-schedule stuff out, but at this time in my business, we microphone daily, Monday through Friday. And what we do is we create individual daily recurring tasks for each platform that we're microphoning to. So, for example, my Facebook posts get turned into emails, daily emails. My Facebook posts also get turned into Instagram posts. My Facebook posts also inspire my Facebook Lives. My Facebook posts also inspire the topic of my IG stories for that day. And because I'm on an Instagram creator account, all of my IG stories are synced to my Facebook stories on this specific profile that you're watching. So what ends up happening is we have this master like beast of a repurposing system that is happening off of like one post. So one daily post that gets posted. So these recurring tasks have step by step how to turn a Facebook post into a powerful email that goes out. It has step by steps on how to turn that Facebook post into a powerful Instagram post or carousel post. And then each platform gets its own styling guide. So we create a Google Doc that has information on how to style posts for each platform. And so this is the most important part. Like if you like take notes on this Facebook Live, this is literally the most important part. Like I want you to like stop what you're doing and just listen to this part. In the Google Doc, instead of this is where most people get things wrong when doing things with team. Instead of giving feedback in Slack, in Voxer, in Telegram, you give the feedback in the Google Doc. I'm going to repeat that. Instead of giving feedback in Slack, in Voxer, in Telegram, where you say it once to one team member, they might remember it, they might not. It has to get repeated over and over again to multiple team members. You hope they eventually learn it, right? And then say, like, if they leave or somebody else leaves, now you have to remember what you taught that team member around Instagram or around email and hope that the next one, your next team member, can like remember it. Put it in a Google Doc, put it in a Scribe How, put it in written format. Anytime you give feedback on your Instagram or on your TikTok or on how you want things stylized across different channels. Because what this is going to do, Alex Charfin talks about this as well. You could check out the podcast interview I did with him. He was my 100th episode on Leave It Hurt podcast. But he talks about this concept of process over personality. And it's so freaking powerful with, making your business simple to run with team, especially creating content for social media or creating content for your email marketing, is process over personality. And what that essentially means is your business becomes more stable the more you have processes in place and it's not relying on this A player or that A player to run your business. So if you have an A player OBM, like online business manager, who does everything in your business, and that OBM was to leave for whatever reason, it could even be on good terms, right? Maybe they want to start their own business, or maybe, they're heading into a different season of their life, like, and they just don't have like the availability to be in your business as much. If they were to leave, you don't want your business to be shit out of luck and go through a hard season of trying to figure out how things were getting done. And then your clients were used to a certain client experience that they're not receiving, and they can see night and day the difference because you don't have process in place. So you want process over personality. And so I'm going to repeat this. This is the most important part of the microphone method. Like, the most important part is when you first delegate to your team, your VA, your social media manager, you need to have individual Google Docs or Scribe Hows for each platform and how you like your preferences around those platforms, like how you want your posts to look, how you want your emails to look, how you want things formatted, and any feedback you give to team in that process of them learning like your preferences around each platform, it has to be written down in that individual platform styling guide so that you have process over personality, so that you actually have a stable business, so that any feedback you're giving, actually people can remember, because there's just too much information in the world that we're living in for people to remember everything. And a lot of times, especially in the coaching entrepreneur space, like, you have team members that are freelancers that have multiple clients, and clients do things differently across different channels, right? When I ran the Done For You launch agency, certain clients wanted their, opt-in pages stylized like this. Other clients wanted their sales pages stylized like that. There was not a single client that had the same preference as another client. Because we're all unique, we're all different, we all have certain preferences. And so I think it's super important to understand that there's going to be a training period and a learning period, and give both you and your team that grace to really get on the same page around your preferences. And you get there faster. And if you need to bring on another team member to do the role, they get there faster by writing it down and putting it in written format, not in a Loom, not in a video, written format. So it's easily able to edit as you change your mind and as you grow your business. Whew, super important. Alrighty. And so from there, you have recurring tasks that they can do daily. So it's kind of like a follow the leader. So as I'm creating content for Facebook, and say like I'm in the middle of a launch, I might have like a post that goes out that says 48 hours left to sign up for delegate the workshop, right? Now, instead of me stressing out, hoping, crossing my fingers that crossing my fingers that 48 hours left is getting shared on my email list, getting shared on Instagram, getting shared on TikTok, getting shared all across my different channels, and not on the wrong day, because with batching, that's something you have to actually be really on top of is if things change in your launch, say like you decide last minute, you're like, I want to do a 1 week cart extension, or I want to change 40 hours left from this Tuesday to this Thursday. Like you have to be really on top of remembering where you put 48 hours left in your content batch across all your channels. So then your team member has to go in, check these posts, triple check the posts. It's just more room for errors if you change your mind a lot in your launches, or if you change your mind a lot in the content you put out there. With microphoning, it's really in the moment. So you're deciding what goes out on your main profile, and like you already pre-approved it. So your team is just repurposing what's already pre-approved, right? It's already been posted, like it's already how you like it. And so it's just a matter of it being copy pasted across channels. And then if you decide and change your mind last minute, you could always like delete that one scheduled post, update it, and now you're not having to update it across multiple channels. It's only updated in one place. Super cool. So you have these recurring tasks. And then what I would say next, so we have that. We have those across channels. Let me double check the third one because I literally just wrote this down. I'm blanking. Oh, Lord. I think I gave like a sample in the micromine example. Create recurring tasks, choose the platforms. Yeah. Third part. So the third part is you want to like collect data. So this is super huge, and I'm going to kind of give an example of how like data helped us get from an 18% open rate on my emails to a 54% open rate on my emails. So um when we're creating content, right? Like when we're first creating content, we're getting into this flow of like really finding our voice, really finding our message, like we're channeling content, like we're getting like into that rhythm of like what we're here to say here on earth, and what we're here to say in our launches, and what we're here to say in our offers. And what can feel frustrating is that like what is it that my audience wants, like what is my that my audience is into, like how do I actually put out posts that attract clients, like not just like people who like my posts, but people who are like ready to buy, right? Part of that, in terms of like growing your social channels with team, is collecting data. So for example, I do a weekly report that my VA does. So she will gather the last 7 days of emails. So she'll gather open rate and she'll gather click through rate. She'll let me know what was the highest open rate for the week, and what was the email that had the highest click through rate. And so that kind of informs what topics I'm going to lean on heavily as I start the microphone. So as I start creating original content or repurposed content for the main platform, which is Facebook. And so as we are growing and scaling um, social media and email marketing efforts across all my channels, we're listening to what my audience wants. Like we're listening to like what they're responding to. We're listening to like what excites them. And so naturally, like my posts are attracting like clients that are excited to like sign up for my offers, clients that are like ready, clients that are like, this is like what I was looking for. And so I like to refer to data as data parties. Like these are fun. Like sometimes when we think of data or analytics or, you know, those like pieces of your business, it can like seem like, oh, you're sucking the fun out of business, but no, you're actually getting more connected to your audience. You're creating more deeper connection, and you're just creating more simplicity in the running of your business. So instead of like being in this guessing game with your audience, you get more. It's like these are their little love notes to you in terms of like, what they enjoy, and what they want to see more of. And so what I recommend with the microphone strategy as well is just making sure you're putting in like weekly reports in terms of your different social channels and what you're collecting. And it doesn't have to be like these big, complicated like dashboard reports. There's a time and place for that, but just as simple as like for your email, what's the open rate? What's the click through rate? And then for your Instagram, what's the likes? What's the comments? And if they have reach or any type of like uh, link action, knowing that information. And then this whole system, as it kind of like flows together, it just makes things super simple for you to get that like freedom and that spaciousness you were looking for with hiring a social media manager or hiring a VA or hiring like a content manager to help you with being on more platforms. So there's multiple ways to work with a social media manager. There's multiple ways to work with a content VA, but what I've seen be super flexible, at least like as you're getting like the rhythm of your social media channels, is the microphone method. I recommend the microphone method also if you're consistent. So if you can um, trust yourself and be in integrity with like posting content consistently to that one platform. And you can do that and actually support yourself in holding that commitment by having a content bank because you're not always having to create fresh content yourself, but you can just easily repurpose content that you already divine downloaded, that you already channeled. And so it just helps things like run a lot smoother. And for my clients, I do this thing called like womb cycle like systems in a way where they're flexible business systems. So sometimes I'll have clients who want to do microphone for a little bit, but then they'll go through a season where they're like, I don't even want to touch social media for a while. And then we just switch into batching during that time. And because they have a content bank, it's so easy for their team to like go back and forth between different ways of running their social media and their content across all their channels. So, what I will share, and this can just be like an aha or like a shift for you in terms of running your social media and email marketing efforts with team, is create systems in place that support flexibility. So, if you know there's certain times of the month that you get really exhausted and like the thought of like creating fresh content, it burns you out, then like batch during that time. Or if like there's times in your business where you're like, I am like a content magnet, like it's just flowing out, then microphone method during that time. Like you can kind of flow between both and have systems and recurring tasks and like SOPs in place. So your team isn't getting like whiplash, but they know to go, oh, let's shift into this flow or we'll shift into that flow. And so it creates like cyclical systems in your business that match your flexibility and match like how you want to run your business. So super exciting. And if you are looking for support around this, I doors are officially open for Capacity the Mastermind. So Capacity is a rolling evergreen business mastermind that is designed to help you create a profitable business that is flexible and super simple to run. So you have your vision, you have your purpose here on earth. You have this mission of yours. You have this like creative dream of yours. And what's so powerful about Capacity is it helps you stay in the energy of your vision. It helps you to step into the visionary CEO that you are. It helps you to step into the spiritual goddess that you are. It helps you to step into the creative, like the coach, the healer that you are, the done for you service provider that you are, and have the support, the delegation, the automations, the simplicity to hold that vision with you. A lot of times when we are the only one running our businesses, we actually have an inflexible business. So I'm going to repeat that. When you are the only one running your business, you have an inflexible business. You have a business that can only run if you are the one doing everything in your business. So if you decide to take a day off, if you decide to take a week off, if you decide to take a month off, nothing moves. And that's my first sign of an inflexible business. So when you come into capacity, you're actually creating more flexibility in your business. You're creating a business that you can tap in and tap out as you please, where you can be cuddling up with your babies, where you can be going on vacation, where you can be going on trips, and your business ecosystem, right? Your team, your automations, how the simplicity of your business model is easy enough to hold in multiple seasons of your life. So, for example, in my business, right, one of my biggest fears I had told my mentor like a couple of years ago was like, how the heck can I run my business, right, with like and plan for a wedding and do all these things? Like it was like a fear of mine. Like I would literally go into my Telegram chat with her and go like, I'm afraid, like what happens if it becomes too much? What happens if my clients hate me and all these different things? And at the time I just had an inflexible business, right? Those fears were born from an inflexible business. And so I got to experience the power of having a flexible business around my wedding this year. So I got married in October of this year, officially Amanda Renew. And for 2 weeks, I took a 2 week sabbatical. And so content was going out, sales were happening, my team was supporting my clients, like things were just getting done around me. And I got to be really focused on the final 2 weeks of my wedding, just being like in the moment, being like super present as I got to marry Joe. And what that experience taught me was the power of this work and the power of having simplicity and having a flexible business. Because if I didn't do the intentional work on my business, if I didn't do the systems work, if I didn't do the team training, if I didn't do the automations, if I didn't do the simplicity, if I didn't rework my offers to be super scalable and super easy to deliver on, but super powerful for my clients that they like get like are so excited and refer left and right, like if I didn't do that working on the business work before my wedding, I don't know if I could have said like my business was the easiest part of my wedding. So when we get like really clear on our businesses and how we want them to run, we also need to kind of visualize too, like how do we want to feel about our businesses? Do we want our business to feel like this baby that constantly needs our attention? Or do we want a business that feels like a partner that we can create with, that we can do life with, and that can hold its own, whether we are like in the room or not? And so that's the type of work that I'm doing inside of Capacity. It is super powerful. You get 2 group expansion calls per month. So we do inner CEO work. So like mindset, energetic capacity around like holding your 7-figure plus vision. And then we also do systems work. So for example, like if you're on the call, a lot of what like my clients really love about the space is it's less about me saying you need to do this, you need to do that. Here's like come let's build up everything you need to do, right? A lot of masterminds you'll go into and it just feels like your workload increases. In Capacity, what's unique about the space is your workload actually decreases because it's a space where we're going to get you more supported in terms of delegation. So a lot of times you'll hear me say like, hey, based off of like what I'm hearing, it sounds like we need to assign blank to blank. Let's delegate that. And so the type of person who would best be supported in Capacity is someone who's around the 8 to 12K plus mark, who has like at least one virtual assistant or is planning on hiring a virtual assistant. And it doesn't mean like your virtual assistant needs to be on a huge package. Even if they're on a 20-hour per month package, you could get so much value out of capacity because those 20 hours is going to free up so much of your mental space in running your business and be able to like create beyond your wildest dreams. Like it's so cool. It's so, so cool. So you get the 2 group calls per month. You also get daily group chat support. So I check in Monday through Thursday, and you can ask me anything related to your business, like even personal life as well comes up too. And you get to move through like the blocks faster because I'm checking the space and like helping you like move through blocks faster. Like we're co-creating together. I'm bringing Fractal COO business strategy to your business in terms of like the direction of your business. Like, what are some ways that we can grow and scale it? And you just also get community in terms of like other leaders on the journey who are doing the work with you. And then you also get behind the scenes business audits. So these behind the scenes business audits are super, super powerful. So what's powerful about these business audits is a lot of times say like you'll come into a space and you'll try and finagle like what's the problem. And if you're just on a coaching call and you're just talking about it, like you can kind of finagle the problem, but not always. A lot of times, like I'll go into a business and I'll look behind the scenes, like in their Slack, in their ClickUp, in their Notion, and in an instant, I can see like where the bottleneck is and where there it's kind of getting like wonky with team. And so with the behind the scene business audits, you can request the business behind the scenes business audit. And then I'll go behind the scenes, like in your platform, in your Slack, in your ClickUp, in your Notion, in your Asana, and just give you like an audit in terms of like what's happening and what's creating the bottleneck so that you can shift your business super fast. So these business audits alone are beyond powerful, beyond powerful. It's like getting my Fractal COO support, which is like 10K per month, but like you get it inside of a mastermind. It's like, oh, so good. And so you get that. You also get 4 times a year these vision planning intensives. And so I attribute a lot of what we're able to create in such a short amount of time to these vision planning intensives. So I do vision planning intensives in my business, and from those intensives, I get super clear on the like projects we're going to focus on next. I get super clear on like what we're going to create in the year. I get super clear on like what's our top priorities, like how we can grow and scale the business, and like it's a mixture of like law of attraction, like vision boarding and business operations. So it's like super fun, and it's just so cool. And I'm gonna give you a kind of example of like what you can get just from like a vision planning intensive in the mastermind. So for example, like I did a vision planning intensive and like with me and my team, so they were both on like 10-hour per month packages, so 20 hours total. We created 6 launches in 2023, 6 launches, 3 funnels. Um, we built out my entire website to host all my offers on it. We created automated onboarding for all my offers. I reworked all my offers. I launched Capacity Mastermind and redid the branding for everything. And we brought my open rate from 18% email open rate to 54% email open rate just from vision planning intensives. That's how powerful vision planning intensives are. A lot of times, like, it's yes, there's manifestation, yes, there's like visualization, but there's also the how. And if you have an efficient how, like if you have like an efficient way of approaching business, like if you could do launches much faster and vice versa, like you could get so much done. Like we essentially got with 2 virtual assistants on 10-hour packages, like we created more in 1 year than like most 7 or 8 figure companies can create. And so that's the power of efficiency. And like in the vision planning intensives, like imagine like all the goals you want to create in your business, like everything you visualize, and imagine it actually appearing in 2024 because you have the right systems, support, and efficient processes in place. Like, yeah. So you get the vision planning intensives. You also get bonus access to ready to use seven figure systems, courses, templates, SOPs that I've created for my Fractal COO clients, templated to use in your own business. So, say like if you were like, I want to do a DM script strategy, but I don't know where to start. Boom, grab the template, hand it over to your virtual assistant. You have a seven figure system that you could run. Or say like you're like, I want to start doing free workshops, but like the last time I ran a free workshop, it was the most stressful thing. Boom, grab the free workshop template. Your team can set it up like in less than a week. Done. Like no problem. Like what's powerful about these systems is it's a growing library of systems. So my seven figure capacity microminders are kind of getting a taste of this in the 4-day group chat. So as they are asking questions in the group chat, I'm creating like a goodie bag of different systems, SOPs, like step-by-step guides that they can hand over to their virtual assistant and like run, or that, audio trainings to kind of like shift their consciousness around like a problem they've been facing in their business. And so as you're in the mastermind is customized to you. So as you are having things pop up in your business or things that have normally like stalled you out, you're we're creating these like supportive like systems that support you in your business. And it's a growing library of seven figure business systems that make your business simpler to run. So that's what you get inside of Capacity, the mastermind. And I highly, highly, highly recommend enrolling this week because I'm hosting an early bird group chat this Monday. It's going to be a 30-day vision planning hotline for Capacity, the mastermind members only. And in this space, we're going to vision plan out your 2024, and we're going to start calling in your 2024 goals now. So a lot of times in my group chats or in any of my offers, like I've been in business for over 10 years, I've seen like quantum, like out of this world results happen in these group chat experiences. And you get access to this 30-day amazing vision planning group hotline as part of your Capacity Mastermind enrollment, and it all starts on Monday. So if you're ready to step into 2024 with like powerful vision, start calling in your goals, start calling in your desires now, like this is going to be the space for you. And if you have any questions at all related to capacity or at all related to anything I shared in this Facebook Live, feel free to message me. My DMs are open. The comments below are open. Happy to answer any and all questions. So I'm going to look on Facebook to see if there was any comments on this Facebook Live. Do-do-do. Okay. Yes, Kat's like, yes, that is so important. Exactly. Data is super, super important. So I agree. And it can be fun too. So it could be like something that um, you can be like playful with. A lot of times, data, if you have like a too heavy energy around it, can feel like, um, what's the word, can make you feel bad. Like, say, like, oh, we didn't get enough likes or you didn't get enough engagement. I wouldn't approach my mindset from that. I would actually shift your CEO mindset into, ooh, now we have information on what our audience likes, or like, ooh, now like let's lean into this more. Ooh, let's play around with this more. Like if you turn it into a data party, like a data celebration, you're gonna have a lot more fun like looking at your data. So alrighty. So I think we got all the questions answered. If you have any additional ones, drop it in the comment section below or DM me, and send you all lots of